friends, welcome to Cotton Cut's Carnival Puzzle Mystery Quilt. And this is Petting Zoo, the small version, Clue 2. I am a little bit behind because I ordered the small version a little bit late. So we're going to be doing this a little bit differently than I do my fortune teller. I'm only going to do one of the blocks, but just remember that you will have to do the other blocks in your clue to get the complete set. But I'm only going to show you one set here so that I don't have to cut down the video. Okay, so this is the inventory portion. So we're going to go through, I'm going to show you or explain to you how many things should be in your kit for your clue, and then we'll move right into step one. So in your clue, you should have, of the small triangles, 8 fabric A, 8 fabric B, 2 fabric C, 4 fabric D, and 14 fabric E. And then you should have all in your A fabric a large triangle A times 2, 2 large rectangles, and 2 small rectangles. Again, that's all in fabric A. Okay, for section 2A, we're making 2 blocks in this clue. In section 2A, we're going to do step 1.1 and 1.2. I've already pulled my fabrics, so you're going to make 2. I am making 1. So I've got an A triangle and a C triangle, and then an A triangle and an E triangle. And you're going to make 2 of each, and then you're going to press towards A for your A and C, and then you're going to press towards E for your A and E. So let's get started. I almost want to do this kind of the way I would do it normally, like if I was just sewing without recording. I'll be really interested to find out you all's feedback for which format you like better. If you like the village green and fortune teller format, or if you prefer this kind of format where I do one of the blocks with you. You know, like you can pause the video at any point. Okay, so that's E. This one is A and C. My iron is so big. The only thing I don't like about this particular angle is that it feels very cumbersome with having the iron right near the camera. But if you all like it, this is the way we're gonna go. Okay, so we've got our A and our C, our A and our E. So for step 2, you're gonna make 2, I'm making 1. So you're gonna take everything that you did in step 1, and in step 2, you're going to join them. C should be on the left, E should be on the right. You're going to sew them down this middle seam, or this edge seam right here, or this edge right here, to make what would be a flying geese, right? Or flying goose, I don't know. Flying geese block. And then you're going to press towards E. I just recorded clue 4 for fortune teller this morning. So I'm still very much in, like, let me explain everything as I go. And that block, or those blocks, took me just over 2 hours to sew together. And I'll have to explain it to you all. Like I would be skipping through this and doing like all of the ironing all at once. All right, so we're going to put the fabric E to the top because we're pressing towards fabric E. And I'm just going to kind of gently lay it over, not doing any tugging. The steam is on. Pressing that seam over, making sure that it actually is a nice flat seam. All right, there we go. All right, so step 3, we're going to be making an actual flying geese block, and you're going to put your fabric E on the left side and your fabric B on the right side, and we're going to press up towards our smaller triangles. This step requires you to make 2. Again, I'm making 1. I also brought home my Juki today, which I'm super excited about, because then I can start making bags again. I love my Singer. I love this machine so much, but Betty doesn't do really well with heavy duty fabrics. This is actually, this thread is kind of for bag making. It's a bonded polyester, but I already had it in my machine. It's not much thicker than quilting cotton, so I figured why not? I'll go with it. Since I won't be able to make a bag on this machine. It is a little awkward not having my like automatic thread cutter, but I don't know. I love this machine so much. All right, so now we've got our fabric E on there. I'm just gonna kind of push it over with the iron. It's gonna steam on its own. Boy, that's pretty. Okay, so you're gonna be you'll make 2 of these. All right. Step 4, you're going to take your flying geese, the 2 that you made in step 3, and your half square triangles that you joined in step 2, and your long rectangles. So you're going to make 2 of these. You have 2 of these, so you're going to use up your rectangles. And we're going to place them like this. I don't use pins or clips for this. You could if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. Whatever you're comfortable with, right? Quilting is a personal journey. Whoop. Every once in a while, my machine does this, or this machine does this. Okay. Like the top thread gets wrapped around underneath. I do need to find someone in my area to service this machine. I think the timing might be slightly off. I don't think it's completely off, but I think it's just enough to cause problems. You know what I mean? Okay, so we are pressing the seam towards the rectangle. All right. Oh, and you get to watch me seam rip. We get to do a little unsewing. I set this block upside down. Okay. At least I didn't go very far, right? So I have been having some issues with skipping over some of the thicker areas. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that one more time. And I found if I keep my finger, I know it's ridiculous. Every machine has their like little quirks. I found that if I keep my finger just on the little tip of the toe, or the front of my foot, my presser foot, that it doesn't skip stitches. It's really weird, I know. All right, so again, we're pressing towards the inside of our rectangle. So I think the rectangle was just a hair long because both blocks are short by not very much in the same amount. So that's okay. You can always go and trim this up. All right, so that was step 4. We're going to grab step 5. And you would have made 2 of those. So you're going to make 2 of these. I'm making 1. So we're making more half square triangles, D and E, and E and A. You're making 2 of each. So I did an interview with another content creator here on YouTube. And I think my nerves totally got the best of me because I feel like I talked super fast. Okay, so D and E. Your blocks D and E, you're going to press towards your E fabric. So I'm going to grab that. Okay, and then your A and your E, you're going to press towards your A. For me, this happens to be the darker fabric, but both fabrics seem pretty dark. So it's not like you would be pressing like towards a white piece of fabric. You know what I mean? Okay, so for step 6, we're going to take our D and D fabric. I keep getting these mixed up. D and E and A, and then your small rectangle A. You're going to make 2, I'm making 1. But anyways, I did this interview and I'm watching like last year's video and I'm like, man, I feel like I totally rushed through what I was saying and I totally could have taken more time. But if I'm lucky enough for 2024 to be part of the same thing in 2024, I already know that I will slow down. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so we're going to press this block. So you're going to press up towards your D and your E. These fabrics are so stinking pretty. I am so happy that I went ahead and ordered the small version. I was like, so full disclosure, I've never been a big Tula fan. Never. Like, I thought the fabrics were pretty, but in like everyday application of like my hobby, I was like, these are never gonna fit into what I make. And I feel like I just didn't have the vision for her fabrics. But her fabrics are beautiful. I just was like, they're bright. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know how to use them. All right, so now we're pressing our small rectangle down towards A. And this is the completion of step 6. Okay, so you're going to take your block that you made in step 4, the block we just finished, and you're going to place the block we just finished to the left. So the small block should be on the left, the big block should be on the right, and we're going to sew down this long edge. I never really had an eye for her fabrics. Okay, I'm actually going to sew it from this side because the rectangles seem to have been just slightly longer. So we're going to make sure that these seams are going to stay 1/4 of an inch. But her current lines of fabric, I think, are just so fun. I love like the animals. So I was really excited when I went ahead and just said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to get petting zoo. We're gonna add this. And I love purple. Like, I don't know. I can't get enough of the color purple. So I did have a skipped. I don't think it'll matter too much, but I am going to just go over it. I wasn't holding the toe. And when I went and picked up my Juki today, I asked them, I said, do you guys have anybody that specializes in these vintage singers? And they were like, no, not really, but you can try this place. So I'm going to try and get this gal serviced at some point. Okay, so we are pressing towards the big block. We're going to go ahead and Give that some steam. And we're just going to gently fold it over, roll it over, kind of encouraging that seam to stay over. Oh, these seams are gorgeous. I love it when a plan comes together. Oh, man. Okay. All right, so that is block 2A. You would have 2 of these when you're done. Okay. So now we're going to do section 2B. Step 1, step 1, and we're making all half square triangles. This actually looks very familiar from what I did this morning. So I'm going to make 2. You would make 4 of E. E and B, pull out these triangles. We're going to put E down here, B up here. I'm just going to lay them out the way the instructions tell us to, and so I can help you all visualize what it's going to look like. All right, so then you would make 2, I'm making 1, D and E. And then again, you would make 2, I am making 1, B and A. Okay? Now that I've done and finished Village Green and know that your small version is just like your small version is basically the base of the big version. The only thing that's different about the large version is it has like additional, what I would call borders. It basically has an additional border around it. Or like set of blocks as a border. I don't know if that makes sense, but I was really impressed the way Village Green came together, and I'm really excited to see Carnival come together, and then Tree of Life. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Tree of Life. That is supposed to come be released December 1st. Super excited about all of that. I am probably going to do 2 colorways again. I like this ability to have 2 sets of videos. It is more work on my part, but it means that I have the ability to help both audiences with the small and the large. My phone is going crazy right now, and I don't know why. I'm trying not to go look at it. We're like super close to being done. So, okay. E and B. We're pressing towards B for 1.1. And remember, you would have 4 of these. Okay, so there's one of those. Let me tilt that up. When my iron is tilted down, the steam just continues to go. All right, so there is 1.1. D and E, and we're pressing towards E, which happens to be my lighter fabric, but again, they're both opaque, so it doesn't truly matter. What I like about cotton cuts, not only is it that they're like precisely cut fabrics, your A and your B are going to be pressed, you're going to press towards B. I love that they are pre-cuts, right? That they have cut all of they've done the cutting for me. I don't have to do anything but put them together. The other thing I love about this is that all of the seams, I don't have to think about which direction to press the seams. They just come together. Okay, we're going to join these. We're going to make 2 sets of blocks. So B, E, D, and this is a rhombus, I believe. And then we're going to take A and B. We're going to make another rhombus with B and E. We're going to sew along these edges, and you're going to press. Actually, I'll just tell you about pressing when we're done, because we're on this journey together right now. Just always remember to be consistent with your seam allowance. I have a piece of washi here that is marking my 1/4 of an inch. There are like line markings on this machine, but they never. I don't know that a 1/4 inch seam was used as much. I think most of it was for like 3/8 and 1/2 inch seams. Okay. Which one is this? Okay, so we're going to take this one, and we are pressing up. We're going to press towards our B fabric. My B fabric has raccoons on it, and I love it. I have a running joke with one of my coworkers who is getting ready to retire, that we are both trash pandas, and I love that. Okay, and then we're going to be pressing down towards our E fabric on the next set of blocks. But because it's easier for me to flip the block around and press away from me, I did that. Okay. So take your blocks. You're going to have 2 each. Take your 2 blocks, or take your 4, and lay them in this orientation. This seam right here will nest. So you're going to place the D fabric bottom left and your A fabric top right. And we're going to sew them together. If you need a pin, use a pin. I guess I should show you. I don't know if we've ever been able to be this close, or we could talk about it. So this is nesting seams, right? When you press your seams opposite directions. And if you were to like set your fabric, offset them, like overlap them, you could move them back and you would feel them lock in place, right? Just like that. Which means if your blocks are the same length, they should line up. If you need to put a pin in there, feel free. I don't. I feel like I've got it. And then you just want to kind of be mindful of it. Be mindful of that nested seam. The one underneath is facing towards my feed dogs. And if I'm not careful, it can flip backwards and make the seam even bulkier. Okay. And that's it. This is the conclusion to clue 2. And you're pressing to the left, you're pressing towards your rhombus E fabric. And it's okay to just kind of let that sit on there with some steam, because that middle piece, that intersection where the 4 patches or the 4 blocks combine, is a little thick. So if you want to use a little extra steam right here, it's totally cool. All right, and you should have 2 of those. There's 2A and 2B. Thank you for joining me on the journey for Clue 2. I hope to see you in another video. Please let me know if you like this format. If you do, I will keep this format for all of it, or if you like a combination of both, I can do one set one way and one set the other way. But let me know how much fun you're having, or let me know what you're up to with your clues. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!